Howdy, 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 my darling Gemini. How are you doing, friend? Let's get into your weekly tarot reading for June 2023. All right, no need for a long introduction, but Gemini, if you do vibe out with me and you do enjoy this tarot reading or just my style of reading, I would really appreciate if you were just to give this video a like and subscribe because it does actually help me out quite a bit. So let's just start out with your journey right here. What's going on for you, Gemini? And darling, 10 of Pentacles. Things are going to be starting to stabilize quite a bit in your life, Gemini. All right. Now, when it comes to my tarot readings, I like to cover all my bases, darling. All right. For my antisocial folks, I like to translate this general tarot reading for those who are interested more so in their career and, physical pursuits, as well as the social life, romantic, platonic, what have you. All right. So I like to cover both ends because I am aware that not everyone cares about the same thing, especially when it comes to a general tarot reading. All right. So 10 of Pentacles, we're going to be talking about this from more of a financial approach initially in your career. 10 of Pentacles is the best card to be having financially because it just represents like your bank account starting to fill up there, Gemini. What I want to be saying is just overall in your life, things are going to start again just stabilizing. I get like this message very intuitive, and I guess it doesn't really matter too much, but I feel like you guys have been going through just like, it's always like something. It's like every single week there's like something that's wrong that you have to take care of. It's like one week you have car problems, another week you have like an unexpected bill just when you're about to like start developing like a savings, right? And then in your social life here, again, just you're going to start noticing the people that you're meant to have in your life, I will say, Gemini, are going to just start calming down. They're going to be able to just fit in your life very organically. The message that I get and what I'm being shown intuitively, again, darling, I'm just filled with intuitive messages for y'all. So take this as you will. Maybe I'm just a crazy person, but I feel as if for you, Gemini, you need to hear this message of where, I like to see tarot, but just life in general is like a giant puzzle. And it's like right now there's certain puzzle pieces or people in your life that you're trying to just like force it into a hole that it's not supposed to fit into. If you know, it's like you're trying to force that puzzle piece into a hole where it's not going to be fitting here. And here, this is more so serving as like a confirming message to you, Gemini, where it's just like, if you notice there's certain, girl, I'm trying to see if this is going to focus here. If you've been noticing, Gemini, just certain people in your life are just not fitting, this is a sign for you where it's just like, all right, maybe it's time for you to just like, maybe not remove them from your life entirely, but stop trying to have them fit, just put them on the sidelines. All right. I have certain relationships in my own life where it's just like, I love them, but I just don't have the capacity to be a good friend to them right now. And I'm very transparent too. Whenever I'm really about my career, like right now, I'm about my career and my business. I've told my close friends where I'm like, darling, I'm just not going to be available to y'all right now because I need to put all of my energy into the vision, what it is I'm creating behind the scenes, Gemini. And the people that are going to be part of your life that actually will continue to grow and be there for you for the long term rather than just a temporary thing, they're going to understand this and they're going to help make space for you to grow. So whoever needed to hear that message, I think it was really important because it just gives me like an implication of where someone in your life is just really like, you have to sacrifice so much, I feel, for a specific relationship in your life, and that just isn't fair to you and your being. Don't allow people to make you feel like you're a lesser person or that you're not a good person because you're not fitting the mold of what they want you to be. They don't like you for who you actually are. They like you in the vision that they think of you as, right? That's something I've had to like really learn myself, because it's like, darling, especially as a public figure, even in my personal life, people have this projection of me of thinking like how I actually am, when in reality, like a lot of people get a rude awakening because they don't realize like how dark and dry of a sense of humor that I have. Like, I'm really not political. I am the very opposite of being politically correct about anything. And people are upset by that. They view me as like some spiritual enigma. They view me as like, like I have to act some type of way. And it's just like, well, girl, no, that just means that, I don't fit this image of what you thought your first impression of me just was wrong, right? And so don't feel like you have to change for other people. If they're upset that they can't mold you in the way that they feel like you should be, they don't like you for you. And so why would you have them in your life? All right, don't mold anymore. Continuing on here, girl, we have more pentacles here. Definitely when it comes to your finances, Gemini, I really think things are going to start stabilizing for you. Now, obviously, am I saying, Gemini, that you're going to just be having a bunch of money fall into your bank account? Wouldn't that be fabulous, right? But the Six of Pentacles is just letting you know where it's like what you're putting in on your side, Gemini, it's finally going to be reciprocated on the other side, right? Because the Six of Pentacles, I don't know if it's in this, yeah, this artwork, of course it doesn't, but it does depict scales, right? So like the actual scales there. So it's like you've put in a lot of time and effort and resources into something. You haven't been seeing the payout quite yet. Have some patience at this time here. You may not see how you're going to get to that 10 of Pentacles, to that final destination, Gemini, but I promise you it's coming in soon, you know, sooner than what you would be expecting. Now you might be asking, was like, well, Velka, how soon can I get a time frame? I obviously cannot in a general tarot reading, my friend, because it's all going to be different for each person. All right, so that's what a private reading is for. More so when it comes to your social life, I mean, this just really reinforces what it was I was saying beforehand, where it's like the people that are meant to be part of your life, they're going to do their part. All right, you know, there's this message here, Gemini, where it's like I feel like you've caught up, you've really developed like a sense of people pleasing with certain people, because maybe one, you just have a kind heart and there's nothing wrong with that, but two, you know, that was something that you needed to do to survive. All right, but you don't need to do that anymore. All right, the people that are meant to be part of your life right now are going to meet you halfway. You shouldn't always have to self-sacrifice, really, ever, when it comes to your relationships. If you have to take a part of yourself away to make a relationship work out in your life, you don't want them. All right, continuing on here for you, we have here the Page of Swords. All right, so when it comes to your physical pursuits here, let's actually get a clarifier for that. When it comes to your physical pursuits, Six of Cups coming in here. Yeah, this is definitely a message here, Gemini, of where it's like maybe it's very specific, but it's like maybe you started something and then started to forget about it. So maybe it's like a project of some type in your life, and you haven't given it as much energy as you could because life has just been very chaotic and busy for you here. I feel like that's where the like is, you know, the Six of Cups talks about receiving like a blessing of some capacity here. And so it's like it's telling you, it's like keep your eye on something, Gemini. There's this sense of where, especially with this Page of Swords, like by keeping your eye on something, you're about to be seeing like a very opportune moment. So maybe you've been sitting on like a very valuable business idea, maybe some creative pursuit here. You know, there's like this message where it's like now is the right time to be going into there, because you have that Six of Cups energy blessing it. Now on the social side, the Six of Cups can represent people that you have a long-standing history with here, especially with this Page of Swords here. I'm going to be very transparent, Gemini. I feel like there's just going to be several folks in your life that you either choose to cut off, or folks in your life that, you know, maybe you cut off a long time ago, right? But I do see this sense of where you're going to be having quite a few eyes on you that are just paying attention to what it is that you are doing. That is something just to be aware of and just to accept, all right? And I think it's really important for you to just understand that you're going to be having these silent fans or these silent haters, all right, in your life, because it's just like, I don't want you to limit yourself because of these people that are watching you. You know, you might as well just give them a show, essentially, here, because I do get like this impression here, Gemini, where it's like you might be experiencing some paralysis by overanalysis by certain folks in your life that you don't want to have them judge you, or maybe it is this sense of where it's just, you know, I don't know. I just really get this impression here where it's like, especially when it comes with that Three of Cups, like your friend circles and stuff like that, maybe like a past person is like going to be trying to do something to you to like slip you up, to try to like say something cutting. All right. And that's, again, just like another sign of where you need to just remove them from your life and just let them watch you from afar. The best way of getting to somebody, and that's something I've learned many years ago, and I've always kept stood true to it because I agree on it, is like, you know, and I'm a very confrontational person, but the best thing you can do to really get to somebody is just removing access, right? And giving them no closure, and just be like, you know what? You're not even worth my time. I'm going to cut you off and you can just watch me from afar, and you're not even going to be able to communicate with me anymore. All right. So don't allow some type of relationship in your life to continue to distract you. Allow them to be watching, because that, like, I don't know. I know this might make some people uncomfortable, but it's just the reality of it. You're going to be having certain people trying to check up on you by talking to other people, seeing how you are doing from other people. Let them watch, give them a show. All right. Allow these haters to be haters. You're never going to be converting them. And even you just acknowledging them is giving them more power. Just cut off access. All right. Take it from me, honey. You have the Hierophant coming in here. Again, really solid situations here. I have a very specific message when it comes to your career and just more physical pursuits. Gemini, I see you in this place of something setting you up for the long term with that Hierophant. And so I do see the potential for you, perhaps, maybe. There's a word I wanted, but it just escaped me, of course. I get like this impression of, I had such a good word for it, but now any other words that I'm thinking of, it just is not, it doesn't give it justice. Okay, let's say it this way, Gemini, maybe you put it out in application somewhere. I won't be surprised if you actually receive like a mess, because that's something that I get is like, there's something that you put out there and you didn't really think it's going to be like anything was going to come of it, but it's like after you give enough time to marinate, so maybe you put an application out somewhere for a job or school or something in that manner, and you haven't heard back from them. You may have even given up on it here. It's like receiving like an unexpected message that then causes some celebration for you, right? With that Three of Cups here. Obviously this is in the upright. I just for those that are picky want to see the card. Yeah, I just get something that where it's just like an unexpected blessing in regards to a thing that you just did not see happening. So let's just say hypothetically, I'm a Gemini, all right? So you can use this example and apply it to your life in specific. This gives me very much so like I have several social medias, right? If I post on like my podcast channel, that's honestly the best example here. Is like I've been doing a lot of stuff for my podcast, but I only put out a couple episodes on it. And then I kind of I didn't forget about it, but I put it to the sidelines and not put any energy into it. This is like a situation of how by translating this message, I'd be like, oh, maybe in the coming weeks, like I'm going to get a surge of views from that podcast, or maybe someone finds me from that podcast I haven't really uploaded in a hot biscuit on, and then things start falling into place from that. Do you see what I mean? It's like, it's definitely something that you wanted to develop, but you just haven't had time to. All right. Now, when it comes to just, again, your social life, this seems to just really be continuously drilling in this message here. I don't even feel like I need to, because this just wraps it up here with that Knight of Swords. Like ultimately here, Gemini, the people that are meant to be part of your life are going to stay in your life here. When it comes to your relationships right now, the best thing that you need to value and with them are people that allow for you just to be yourself here. There's a sense of where I feel like you're really tired or just worn down from very either like bipolar people or people that always have to have something going on, always have to, I don't know. I get this sense for you where it's like you probably are going to be going through a period of your life, Gemini, where you really it's just all about you, baby. Anyways, this is the tarot reading that I have for you, darling. Hopefully something in here resonated, and I'll connect to you sometime in the near future, darling. Bye, Gemini.